Welcome home chefs to another episode of Janine's Gluten-Free Kitchen, where we make recipes that are all gluten-free, dairy-free, refined sugar-free and often grain-free. And today we are making a delicious recipe of slow cooker lamb shanks with chili beans. Yum! Now, if this is the first time you've been to our channel, welcome. We're happy you've joined us, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future recipes. So without any further ado, let's get cooking. So let's get started, and today we are making our lamb shanks and chili beans together in a slow cooker. So first thing we want to do is cook up some onions. All right, that's our gas going. Now it depends what kind of slow cooker you have. Sometimes you have the capability of frying your onions or meat firsthand in the slow cooker. Mine's not one of those. Mine's a much slower, simpler machine. So I have to cook things in the fry pan first, transfer it in, and then get it on slow. So I have a couple of onions that I've sliced earlier, just some nice large brown onions, and I've got a couple of those. Please go to the description below for all our ingredients and quantities. So, a couple of onions, let's throw them in the fry pan, which had a little bit of olive oil, and fry that up nice and brown. Now I'm looking for a good caramelization, because getting them nice and brown and caramelized is what's going to give our meal good flavor. So we're not just sweating, we are browning. Now our onion is probably halfway cooked, and I'm going to throw in some garlic cloves just to get them a little browned as well. And the reason why I'm adding the garlic cloves a bit later is because we don't want to burn them. They cook a lot quicker than onions do. All right, let that brown a little. So our onions are just about browned enough. But what I want to do now is throw in some chopped tomatoes. This is a tin and a half of chopped tomatoes. And the reason why I'm going to throw it in with my onions now is because I want to heat it up before it goes into the slow cooker, so that the slow cooker isn't working too hard in heating everything up. And you can hear that lovely sizzle as the tomato hits the oil. All right, I've turned the heat off, and we're going to transfer that now into the slow cooker. Great. Pop the lid back on it and clean the pan so we can do our meat. We're back, and the thing about pre-cooking the meat beforehand, although it's not absolutely necessary, what you will find is if you just brown a little bit, yes, it'll seal in the juices, but it'll also give it extra flavor from the caramelizing. So that's a really important process. So let's throw in some more oil into our pan and just give our lamb shanks a light golden sear. While we're waiting for our meat to brown a little, I'm going to add my beans. Now I've got some large lima beans that I bought dried, and I've soaked them overnight. And now we've got our plump soaked beans here, and I'm going to throw those in the bottom of the pan, and it's going to sit underneath our lamb. Let's give that a stir through with the tomatoes. Let's throw in our seasoning. I have some paprika here, sweet paprika, which is an absolute necessity for chili. Some smoked paprika, which has a lovely smoky depth. We have some pepper, very important. What else do we have? Chili, of course. And feel free to add as much or as little chili as you want to your taste. A sprinkle of salt, again to your taste. And last but not least, the ever important cumin. Love cumin. Dried, roasted, yummy, yummy. And give that a stir through. Oh, smells beautiful. Great. All right, let's see how lamb's doing. Now you're not trying to cook it. You just want a little bit of brown, and that is fine to me. Yum. Great, let's put a few more pieces in. You probably noticed me putting this top on because it was lamb. It's very fatty. It was starting to spit like crazy, so I just didn't want to be wearing it. And that's our second pieces. Woo, still spitting. All right, great. Okay, I'm just going to move this out of the way and we'll keep going. So guys, I have decided I am going to add a little bit of stock to the beans because they are soaking up the tomatoes very quickly. So I'm just probably going to put about a cup of veggie stock. That's more than enough. Now, let's put our lamb in, which is always challenging depending on the size of your pot. And we want to just get them squished in there. Slippery little suckers. That's great. You can put them on their sides. Squish them down into the beans. Make some space for number 5. Awesome. Now I want to put in a bit more spice on the top so that the lamb can get some of that as well. Same spices, but a bit more of a sprinkle. Awesome. That's our cumin. A little dash of salt to taste. Optional. Smoked paprika, not optional. Pepper, sweet paprika, And the final thing is a squeeze of lemon juice. I've got one very juicy lemon. Yum. Awesome. Now that is good to leave cooking. Now I've got that set to high. I'm going to leave it on high for 1 hour and then turn it down to low and let it go for as long as I can. Now I am aiming for about 10 hours, give or take, 8 to 10 hours. If you can do 12, even better. So guys, it has been 10 hours since we put these on. Don't you just love the magic of camera? Time that you didn't even know you missed. And this looks sensational and fabulous. Smells awesome. Now, all of these lamb shanks are just falling apart. They're just melting off the bone. I'm going to take them out so that we can get to the beans. Wow. I'm struggling to hold them. They're falling apart so much. Yee. One more piece. Oopsie daisy. I think I've got everything. And you can see the beans are just beautifully cooked. They're just really quite crumbly, which is great. Because you don't, I think beans are always nicer when they're quite crumbly and really easy to eat. Let's put them in our bowl, ready to serve. Yeah, wow. I can really smell all the hints of the smoke from the paprika. Looks fabulous. All right, I think that might do for this dinner. Let's put these back on. They're falling apart. You will need a spoon along with your tongs for this. Now you could, you know what, you could just take all the meat off the bone, but I kind of like being able to get the marrow out of the center of the bone. I know a lot of people do. So I'm going to keep the bones on for that reason. That is a delicious meal for a big family or 5 very, very hungry people. Let's put another bit of sauce on our meat. And then finally, just want to garnish it with a little bit of chopped parsley. Perfect. That looks incredible. And you can serve it with whatever vegetables you want. I'm about to make some broccoli and cauliflower rice to go with this, but equally it would go beautifully with regular rice, mash, or salad. I mean, it does have beans in it, so if you overdid the starches, it might get a bit heavy, But that is just a perfect meal for a very big, hungry family with divine flavors. Lamb shanks, slow cooked with chili beans. We are so going to get into this tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like and leave us a comment. But we'll keep bringing you videos as long as you keep watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hope you enjoy. We'll see you later. Bye. Slow cooked lamb shanks. Shanks? Really? The recipe of... All right, let's do that again. All right, I'll do it one more time. All right. Wake up, Jeffrey. Shua, 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 shua. Absolutely, gas is on.